Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in this video we're going to be building nothing. In fact, it's a top 5 special video because I wanted to thank everybody for all the views on my YouTube channel, because we have now hit 25,000 views on all of my Nanoblock videos that I've done on the channel so far, and it would not have been possible without your contributions. So thank you very much, and let me get started on my top 5 tips on Nanoblock builds. So I got back into Nanoblocks and YouTubing back in 2020 during the lockdown, and I noticed that there wasn't any content for Nanoblock unboxing builds. So I thought, hey, I might as well give it a shot again and get everyone, help everyone out with the build. So my first video was the Sonic the Hedgehog Nanoblock video, which has been viewed over 5,000 times. Thank you very much for that, guys. I will leave a link in the cards up above, but I thought I'd share with you guys my top 5 tips on how to make Nanoblock builds a whole lot easier. And don't forget, guys, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified on all the latest content that I do here on the channel, including Nanoblock sets and role-playing games like Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon, and Persona 5. So, with that over and done with, let's get started with tip number 1. And it is the most obvious tip right now, and it is the layout. You've got to have a nice, structurally clean layout that you can have in your whole house. It's gotta be a nice, clean space where there's no obstructions, it's easy to get to, and of course, it keeps everything organized so that you know that you're not going to have anything dirty on your pieces as well. If you want a good location for building something like, say, a size 2 Pokemon set, or maybe something very more unique, like a motorcycle set, like I have in my unit for my 1,000 views special, then you're definitely going to want to have a large space, something like a little desk over a coffee table or something with a lot of space, but it's so easy to notice any pieces so that the layout doesn't impede with anything else. Tip number 2 is always about organizing. So you have to make sure that your workspace is nice and organized, there's nothing in the way. You have to make sure that any loose bits or any unwanted items, like say pen lays or bits for a unit, are off the desk, and it's all nice and easy, and it doesn't clutter up your workspace. And you can also keep an eye on all the pieces that you have. Another great addition to this tip to keep in mind, you can always use something like a sweet tray to help divide your pieces together to make it a little more organized. There are other methods out there, but the sweet tray is always my go-to method, and I'm sure that you've noticed it with my past couple of Nanoblock unboxing builds here on the channel. Another great tip, which will be tip number 3 for this video, it is lighting, because sometimes the colors of the bricks are a little different from each other, and you have to make sure that when you do organize your bricks, you have a great source of light. Sometimes daylight will be the perfect example, or you could just use something like your house lights or some things like this. But in my case, the LED light that I use to help with the recording of my videos really does help me out, because I know which brick has a different darkness to it. Because sometimes the dark rares can be mixed with the blacks, and it would be very difficult. So always make sure that you have a good source of light when you're sorting out your bricks, and try to separate them as best as you can, because it can be a bit confusing if you don't really sort your bricks out. Tip number 4, and this is going to be related to the instruction booklet, guys. Just make sure that you read it out carefully before you actually do the steps of the build. So sometimes the instructions can be a little bit confusing for everybody. Not everyone's primary or secondary language can be Japanese. I always find to be the most important method of building a Nanoblock set is reading the instructions to find out how to do each step. So I always start off with, for example, the Jolteon Nanoblock set. I always start out with the bottom layer and then work my way up to the front, and then go from the front to the back, or back to the front, depending on how the model is portrayed in the instructions, or how easy it is, depending on the difficulty of the build. Another example to consider is, like the Lugia video that I've done a couple of months ago, is that it will display all the pieces that you'll need for your build before you actually get into it, but it will not tell you what pieces you're going to need for each step, as it will only show you right here on the picture what basically you needed for each of the steps. Step 1 of the build, you will need at least a 1x3 and a 2x3 light blue brick, and of course 2 white 2x3s with 2 1x4s and 1x6. So the most important thing is, when you're doing builds like this, is to always read the instructions carefully. If you're not entirely sure what to do or how to go about with the step, just take your time, slow down. There's no rush or race to try and complete these sets. And finally, tip 5 for my Nanoblock tips is foundation bricks. Now, this is a term that I've used in so many of my videos over the past year or so, and the foundation brick has always helped me with my builds. So again, going back to my Lugia video, Nanoblock set and video, what I did was I used this blue 2x3 as a perfect example of the foundation brick, because that way you know how what you can do next and how you can go about building your model. Sometimes there will be steps where you don't really need a foundation brick, but it will be useful when you do builds like, say, buildings or animals, and it really does help you out and to understand on where to go next, or what's around each of the foundation bricks. There's really no right or wrong way to use the foundation bricks in your builds. Anyway guys, that is my top 5 tips on how to do Nanoblock builds. I hope to do more of these top 5s in the future when I do hit that 700 subscriber count. If you are new to the channel, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified on all my content, including Nanoblock builds, which I will be doing again in 2 weeks' time. And of course, next week, it is LEGO 2K Drive. We're gonna go through the campaign mode, and I hope you guys can enjoy my content as much as I do making this. Happy gaming, guys, and I'll see you next time.